Okay, that was bound to happen, but we now have an infantry unit that can be reinforced. Ah, a big gun back there. Ah, you've come out of your shell. You finish him off, but now we can take that for prestige. And we have a load of artillery in range. Start out over here, where most of the opportunities have arisen. Have to rearm you, supply, 0 ammunition at the moment. You have 4 ammunition. You can attack the pack, or this fellow. Let's go for you. Suppressed, a loss of suppression going on. Now, you have to attack him. No one else in range. I'm thinking what's best to do. Let's firstly move into the village, because there's no one in the way now. Now we have that artillery in sight. Of course, we have the guy over here that might try and interfere. We could intercept with this T-34, but I want to resupply it. And we don't want to hit too early, because that might provoke them into deploying anti-tank units rather than more infantry or artillery, which would be easier for our current force to handle. Now, thinking a direct attack might be able to bring it down this turn, but yeah, thinking it's best to attack him. Overrun. Now we have 2 choices of who to attack. Let's attack with the weaker unit. Luckily artillery don't tend to do much to tanks. Okay, looks like we're on the verge of actually blowing through prematurely. I mean that in the best way. Yeah, reinforce you. Reinforce you. Now that means you're not going to explode next turn, most likely. Right. We can continue trying to bring this down this anti-tank gun. We'd lose men here because we're in range of the K-18. So I'm not going to put anyone in range of it, I'm no mug. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Has a range of 5. Yeah, it's a heavy gun, of course. So we're actually going to stay like that for now. You're in range, you are not in range. So we're going to make you move there. You're going to go here. That should put you in range of this village. Meanwhile, we can move these miscellaneous troops towards the forest. Continue attacking along this front. Okay, artillery's done its work. And we know there's an artillery piece here, so I'm not going to attack. But we can continue moving troops up and keeping contact with the enemy. Just check. Prestige 98, so should be able to reinforce? Yes. And you there. Right, you are going to remain in range to support fire. Everyone else is going to continue their long, long march, which probably won't achieve much, but it's always good to have reserves on hand. Right. And we have this guy who can move. I'm going to resupply him. How are your supplies? Okay, 24-6. That should be enough to last out the scenario. Just about. 5 turns to brilliant victory. Okay, 4 to 4, nasty. Okay, did some damage to our tank units. And he pulls back, of course. But what he doesn't know, I'm going to start with this front this time, because that's where things are a bit dicier. What he doesn't know is we have him in range. Now, it's time to locate this artillery piece. There it is. Now, interesting to note that artillery only have a range of sight of 1. So that means you can actually see them without them seeing you, and that makes sense because they have to use forward observers and the like. I'm going to move this piece into position for use later on. You're also going to move. See, we're running low on artillery ammunition for some of our pieces, mainly the ones that are actually near the action. So we have to be careful exactly how we use the ammo we do have. Three left, and now move you there, and you there. Seeing where we can move this artillery piece. That puts it in range of the village. Now, I'm going to do the smart thing here and keep my troops in the forest, because they take slightly less damage from artillery attacks that way. And having endurance is a good thing if we want to actually emerge from this battle with a decent number of troops still alive. Meanwhile, you are going to continue heading towards the road. This battle has gone very well, actually, aside from a couple of losses, because we are ahead of schedule, and unless the enemy pulls something very nasty out their hat, we should be fine. So let's continue attacking, hopefully overrunning. Yes. Now, 78 prestige available. They have summoned an anti-aircraft gun for reasons unknown. Let us answer with our tanks. So we're going to put you over here. And hopefully be able to overrun this artillery piece. Overrun you as well. I want to try, in effect, to camp this area, because this is a deployment zone. He can put units anywhere in this kind of circle of hexes around it, and by having our units there means he can't put anything where they are. So, yes. I'm sure you can see how that makes sense. 1 to 4. I think I should actually... can't reinforce, but can at least occupy. And we should... Yes, 2 range. Checking because anti-aircraft tend to have greater sight range than most things. Get you out of here. And... 1 ammo left, 2 ammo left, 5 ammo left. So it looks like he's going to have to pull back some of his air force soon. I reckon next turn he's going to summon or requisition some form of nasty field gun, which will hold up our efforts for a little while, but not for long. They actually spotted our artillery piece there. Interesting. Not that it helps them all that much, because we can still do a significant amount of damage to their positions. Three left. Entrenched at 7. 8 to 0. That isn't good odds. We could probably overrun this artillery piece though, in a non-technical sense. In that, yes, if you destroy and suppress the entirety of a fixed artillery piece or anti-tank gun, then there's a high probability that it will be destroyed, just like that. Wow, that was quite an attack. Because it can't move anywhere. A rugged defence at this time, of course, but you can't always have rugged defences. Even if you do take quite a few of us with you. Alright. We can continue our advance on the enemy position with relative impunity. We should have secured Witino quite soon. Unfortunately, we can't move our artillery about because his aircraft can come and bombard it. Unless we go down past the road, which is partly why he moves it there, just to make moving our troops more difficult. Of course, if this was the campaign, we'd have fighters, etc., which to fight back. But this isn't the campaign, this is a scenario. Okay, you have 0 ammo left. So that means he can come and destroy this artillery piece if he so wishes. But that means he's going to be wasting his time away from things that actually might need to be destroyed. It's probably best to actually start bombarding this stormtrooper. Not doing any damage, but you can see in the bottom right, his entrenchment score went down by 1 with that, and that's the point, is to damage his position, which makes attacking on subsequent turns easier. Right. Okay, and we should be able to overrun this. Excellent. Right. Now let's see about actually surrounding this unit. If we were feeling cheeky, we could also try to take the airfield. Not much point to doing so, but I feel fairly secure that we've got this scenario in the bag, now that we got his last hex surrounded and only a stormtrooper defending it. So, let's have a look, actually. Okay. Doesn't seem like there's anything actually defending that position. Interesting. End turn. Yep, as expected. But that means he's wasted a turn. Overcast now. If it ever snows, then his planes can't attack. But now he doesn't actually have an airfield with which to resupply. So this plane is stuck with the ammo it has, as are all his others, which is good for us. Now, let's soften up this pioneer troop. Do a bit more damage. Finish it off. And come back here. Another bombardment. Not much damage. And what we can do is move this artillery piece here move this one into its old position. And next turn we're actually going to assault. Because right now, whoops, thank God for the cancel move button, I do that so often. Right now, assaulting would be bad, as you can see, 7 casualties to 0 predicted. Likely rugged defense, doesn't tell you that, but the worse the odds are, the more likely a rugged defense will come into play anyway. Anyway, right, let's just, not much point to moving anyone else. Let's end the turn and see what happens. Destroyed a tank, but no long-term effect. Looks like you survived the battle, my friend. Last turn for a brilliant victory. And it's always worth waiting to the last turn to achieve it in the campaign, because you get a prestige bonus for all objectives you hold for each turn. So it makes sense to milk it until the very last turn you can get a brilliant victory before actually finishing off the enemy. Anyway, it's time to bombard this last unit into submission. We actually do 1 damage at the moment. Didn't do any, but we suppressed a number. 4 damage. And he explodes because he has nowhere to retreat. So, we're about to capture Wittenow. This little special, where I used the arbitrary number of 250 subscribers as an excuse for uploading a game that I rather like. Might play through it at some point if people express interest, but schedule was full at the time. So let me just say thank you for watching so far, and hope you've enjoyed watching this particular video as much as I enjoyed making it, and see you soon.